Yeah.
Let's get this show on the road then. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is AirleasValkyrie, who is doing a Bungo game. He sent this one in for us to take a look at. Bungo being the Bingo Bango Bungo, being the Tier 10 Japanese battle cruiser line. They're armed with 457mm guns that have a special feature, and that is the spotter plane. The Bungo line teaches you the value of having your spotter plane active when you're firing. So when the spotter plane goes up, your accuracy gets like super precise. You get 10% battery range, of course, but you get 20% maximum main battery shell dispersion. So it just tightens things up that much more. The Japanese battleships in general are kind of snipers. So when you add this on top of it, it's ridiculous. Now, Valkyrie said this was his second game ever in the ship. So we are looking at his second game. Obviously, it was a fun one. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent it in to me. There are some things about the battle cruiser line that I'm not a huge fan of. One being the armor scheme is rather piss poor. Two, I feel like if it's going to be a battle cruiser, it needs torpedoes. It doesn't have torpedoes. So it's really just a massive gun platform. Now, I will say, when it comes to being a gun platform, she delivers. She can absolutely one-shot cruisers and half-health battleships and all that kind of stuff. And she could do it from a very comfortable range, too. So, and she's got pretty decent concealment for being a battleship with that big pagoda mast. So, without further ado, first of all, actually, Valkyrie, you could tell me, what do you think of the line so far? What's your impression after playing through it?
So I wasn't a big fan of Yumihari. Adatara, I started to get the hang of it and I started to like it.
Mm.
But Bungo, I say, is 100% worth getting.
That's good to know, because I hated the Tier 9. There's a Tsurugi with the battle cruiser. Yeah, I know, right? And alleged gunpowder. Armact, I have that one scheduled to go. Yo, guys, I have so much content that I put out. Another reason why we limit ourselves to 5 replays and then choose 2. I have so much content going out on YouTube that I scheduled videos all the way through February 6th now. Every day there's a video coming out till February 6th on my YouTube channel. And that's not even counting shorts. I have shorts that come through as well. Anyway, so let's get to your build then, and let's talk about, let's showcase why this ship is so awesome. So in slot 1, spotting aircraft modification 1 is absolutely important because of the high precision spotter. You want that active as long as possible when you need to shoot something. You have to train yourself, oh, I want to destroy this thing. I got to put my plane up. So it's always kind of funny. What you learn from this is it teaches you to do this in regular ships as well. Here's a fun little tidbit of information for y'all. In a regular battleship or cruiser or whatever, when you pop the plane up, everybody knows it extends the range and everybody knows that you can see over islands. But what a lot of people don't understand is because the range is extended, as the range extends, that means that every piece of range within that original range has better accuracy. The vertical dispersion is improved. So even if you're not using the Japanese battle cruiser with the high precision spotter plane, a regular spotter plane will still make the ship more accurate, which is why when you watch King of the Sea and you watch battleship prodigies on whatever team they're on, like as soon as they see something they want to smack, you see the plane go up. You just see it going up like a balloon, and like all the battleships put their planes up. It's just fun to watch. So spotting your craft is a good choice in slot 1. Damage control, you're never going to lose your engines in this ship, really. So fine. Aiming systems, of course. Propulsion is nice because a lot of times these even though they're battle cruisers, even though they've got really good concealment, a lot of times these ships are playing more mid to long range, and they use propulsion as a way to dodge counter attacks from other battleships. You got concealment, and then, of course, main battery mod 3 for your reload.
Yeah.
And you can take the fighter. Guys, don't ever do that. Learn to use the spotter. Learn how it works. Hey, Sergeant Sully, thanks. I'm having a great stream now that you're here. So you've got a standard captain on this. It's a tech tree ship, and you probably have Yamamoto unlike your Yamato, right?
No, I have it on Zal.
Okay. That's wow. Okay. Um, that's fine if you want to.
Mainly because I get a lot of cracking games in the Zal. So
Oh well, hey, if you do, then fine.
yeah.
Any of these captains, any of the special captains, should go on whatever ship will more reliably, proc their talents. So if you find that that's happening for you on Zao, fine. My Yamamoto is on Kitakaze because I keep regrinding that damn line, so the chances of me getting a Kraken are pretty high. Armact last week in his Tsurugi game got a Kraken with his Yamamoto. It almost saved him the game. Almost. You like to think of the fighter as your hype man when you sail into battle. I think of the fighter as evacuating the captain, Fisherton. Whenever I'm about to die, I just pop my plane and I just watch as my captain just flies away from the ship, And I usually sing out, "Evacuate the dance floor." Anyway. What's up, OT? So let's get to your build. You've got preventative maintenance, grease the gears, basics of survivability, fire prevention, close quarters, gun feeder, incoming fire alert. So it kind of feels like why not say the captain, not the cook? Lol. It kind of feels like you weren't quite sure what to do with this build, so you just put a bunch of stuff on it.
So let me explain to you why I put close quarters on there was because I was mainly grinding a good chunk of the line in asymmetrics.
Okay.
So I just put close quarters because it seems like I get like into fisticuff range pretty quickly. So I just put that on just as an extra thing.
You can be aggressive with it, yes, and close quarters does help with your reload if it comes to it. The problem with that is it kind of incentivizes you to get too close, especially in random battles, because the way that the skill works is your secondaries have to be active in order to get a 10% reload to your main battery. But the thing is, again, with the Bungo, you don't want to be so close. So this is okay for, as you describe, an asymmetric engagement or a co-op battle, maybe even operations. But I do not recommend this at all for a random battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you I can actually show you what my current build is right now if you want.
Well, so what I just did was I just loaded up the doc, our little doc here with commander builds. So you can tell me if this is what you've got or if you've got something a little bit different. But they recommend
it's close. Yeah.
Okay. So they got preventative maintenance, brisk, because the concealment is so good. They've gone heavy AP because these ships really, it's the heavy AP that's so special. So why not make it better and stronger? They've got adrenaline rush, emergency repair, concealment, and fire prevention. Now I can't remember off the top of my head. Do these have limited DCPs? No, they don't. Okay.
No.
Okay. So what do you have on yours?
Sorry for so now what I have, sorry, I just so okay. I have IFA, then grease the gears, adrenaline rush, concealment expert, FPE, and also shell swap. Okay. Interesting. And then I'm saving up because now it's a 18-point commander, so I'm just saving up to get the emergency repairs expert. So
okay, so a couple of things I want to comment on what you just said. The shell swap, I don't think is necessary in the Bungo. I don't think it's going to help you much. I mean, yes, the 457 HE on a destroyer can absolutely demolish it, but the AP does a lot of good damage too. And in this particular ship, I just don't see you shooting HE that often. Again, I always tell people you build based off of how you play the game and how you play the ship. Yeah. So, if you're finding that you're shooting HE a lot or you're gaining something out of this, that's fine. The problem with the first row, there's not a lot that you can really gain from it. I mean, they've got preventative maintenance in here just because it's Yamamoto and it's buffed preventative maintenance. But if you're not running Yamamoto, it probably doesn't matter. To where incoming fire alert would make sense. Because I was going to say, you need some sort of, between incoming fire alert or priority target, some sort of situational awareness of when to start moving forward. So, Takumaru, hello. HE only Bungo? Oh, God. In slot 2, they've got Brisk just because it takes advantage of the really good speed of the ship and the fact that the concealment is quite good. But... you know, and that allows you to relocate quicker. It also helps you to dodge shells. I think the big thing with Brisk is if you're playing at medium to long range, incoming fire alert goes and you're stopped or at a quarter, that's when you speed up to full and you just like scooty scoot out of the way of all incoming shells. So
Yeah.
that comes in handy. I can understand the turret traverse if you're playing at medium to close range. But the farther away you play from the enemy in the battle, the less turret traverse matters. So just keep that in mind. If you find yourself playing the Bungo farther back, you probably don't need the turret traverse.
So if ever I may explain that, I've noticed that in random battles, I get the common curse of like I sometimes am forced into an engage near like at closer ranges. So that's why I put Grease the Gears on there.
Okay.
Including in sniping battleships, I've noticed even though that I position myself far away, it's either my team crumbles or they have to pull away. So it's like and sometimes I'm usually the one who's a little bit later leaving, so I always just put Grease the Gears just to be on the safe side.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Takumaru, thanks for the follow. No, that's fine. Again, it comes down to your own experience and how you play the ship and everything.
Yeah.
M note, Bungo's problem isn't necessarily the poor pen. Bungo's problem is that at long range, the shells are plunging, which means they're coming from higher up down more, which means that depending on your aim, they will plunge through deck armor and into the citadel. That's how Bungo gets a lot of crazy hits on like cruisers and stuff. But the problem is that you have to train yourself to aim a little bit high so that you take into account that downwards trajectory of the shell. What a lot of people do is they aim the exact same as they would aim for any other battleship, and as a result, the shells actually hit the side armor of whatever ship they're hitting, and instead of penetrating, they just bounce right off. So that's the key. And hello, Taro. 3-stream streak for you. Nice. All right, guys. I think we're ready to get into the battle. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Discussion sounds interesting, and you weren't following for no reason. You weren't sub. No, you're fine, Takumaru. Appreciate that. When we do replay analysis, we like to go through, and it comes in really handy when the player is also here too, because then we can talk a lot about their decision-making processes and stuff, which comes in very handy. So. As you can see, Valkyrie is playing with his new toy. He's looking around at it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, shiny.
Nothing wrong with taking a good look at a good boat.
That's right. What's
I
more
love
important?
This thing. I've played several other matches in it, and I've been getting like above 100k games in there. I love this. To be honest, I like this ship over Yamato any day of the week.
Okay. You're welcome, OT. And that doesn't work. That's not just for Bungo. That's for most ships at like extreme range. You just need to like teach yourself to do that. Where it comes in handy is, believe it or not, Miyogi. That's when you start noticing it, because when you start playing like Miyogi, Congo, those ships really, if you're shooting across the map, you're gonna get plunging fire. Go close the brig, Seabear. We'll leave the light on for you. Yeah, well, exactly. Slava's different because the arcs are different, right? Slava's is more like this, whereas the Japanese guns are like... So, yeah, you're right. It does depend very much on ballistics. What about sap shells? Sap shells is, I would say, even more important, because for sap shells, if you're... Why can't I? If your sap shells hits the side here of any battleship, it's not going to do anything. What you want with your sap is you want to hit the superstructure, right? So it's even more important to make sure that you're aiming high for that. Exactly, Electric. And for some ships, the sap can also penetrate the deck armor, maybe even the bow and stern armor as well.
It really depends on what kind of sap shell you're using, because some can pen 26, like the Italian 90 mils, but those are mostly secondary guns or the destroyer guns. Whereas if you're talking something like that silly super heavy cruiser that they got, the one with the what is it, 320s, they can absolutely pen at least 50 mils of armor.
So I'm just gonna point out because I'm just watching the stream. So you noticed that I didn't give that much lead and I kind of zoomed out early.
Yes.
That was actually that was on accident. I was I actually, because I fat fingered onto the right mouse button and caused myself to zoom out when I shouldn't have. Also, I did launch the spotter plane. I also did launch the spotter plane. Yeah, I did. So I launched it right when I was firing at the Stalingrad.
Yeah. And by the way, you are moving around way too quick. Slow down.
Yeah.
Watch your target better. Take your time. Plan out your aim. That Salem should have been your kill. But you're just taking snapshots. You're almost playing this thing like it's a cruiser. And with a battleship like a Bungo, you really need to take your time and watch what the enemy is doing. Your Conqueror, like that first one, that first salvo, too low. See, now you're moving around like crazy now. What are you looking for? The Conqueror is a perfect target. He's slowing down, stopping, and he's showing you a good amount of side. Yeah. But because you're looking around so much, you're missing these shots.
Yeah.
Forget about your secondaries on the Napoli.
Yeah, I do not know why. So, mind you, I did play like G-Curve first before playing Bungo, so I was still in those habits, right? So, but
yeah, your Musashi game where you played a Musashi like a cruiser Armac was nuts. By the way, I saw a comment in chat. I want to answer that. What if the superstructure is saturated? If you're playing at long range, just shoot the superstructure anyways. If you're closer to the point where you can reliably choose where you're going to target, where you want your shells to land, then you can try for bow or stern pens. But with sap shells, just focus on the superstructure and focus on position. I mean, there's so many other things for you to worry about. This Napoli, by the way, I hope you PayPal'd him, because look at this. Yeah. Finally giving you a nice shot. Finally giving you a nice shot.
I gave him 10,000 PayPal currency.
And that's the reason why he turned to the last second, so that you didn't kill him. Got it.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough for him.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to mention, too, I don't like where you're going right now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. Pretty much battleships, because Stalingrad counts as a chibi battleship. And there's you, a Smolensk, a Petro, and a St. Vincent, and you're moving closer to them.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
That's a good question to ask my past self, because I looked at the replay today just so that I could prepare myself for the replay analysis, and I was just like, why did I push up?
You know what I think it is? I think it's just a habit that because you know you're in a battleship, you expect to be closer to the front in case you need to push or to at least tank some damage, and you're not used to playing a sniper battleship like a Bungo is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, her concealment does allow her to get into positions where she could take advantage of broadsides. You tried to do that on the Stalin, but unfortunately you didn't quite have the right angle on him. In that case, you might have been better suited holding your guns and waiting for a different target on something that might be showing side, like this Ohio.
Yeah.
And, of course, the curse of the last gun. You think they'll all fire, and one does not. The problem, though, with firing is that now you're detected the full duration of your main battery reload.
Yeah.
You can't go dark. Conqueror, forget the Ohio. Conqueror. He's broadside.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I disagree. Kill the Ohio. Don't let it get back in here.
Yeah, well, he's turning broadside now, which is really nice of him to do that. But, I mean, Conqueror is also a great choice. I mean, look at your score. You guys are winning this pretty hands down. Vermont or Bungo? Who's got the better guns? I would say it like this. The Vermont, if you can't aim worth crap, and the Bungo, if you are a god at aiming.
I also think it's kind of situational because it's like Bungo, you really do need to take your time and plan your shots so that way you can absolutely take advantage of when people fuck up. But with Vermont, I don't think it's a matter of fucking up. It's a matter of getting into position to be able to take that kill shot because their guns are nasty if you can get in the right spot.
Right. Now, let's do me a favor and try to stay away from using swears, so mess up in the future if you don't mind.
Gotcha.
You're in favor of getting guns off the board personally. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I expected the Ohio to not go broadside to you. In fact, both of them did, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I kind of had that evil laugh when I saw that happening.
Yeah.
It's like, if you shoot the Ohio trying to kill it, you're playing to win. If you shoot the Conqueror, you're trying to farm PR and damage.
Yeah, and look at the score. You got all 3 caps. You're up 3 ships. I'm sorry, but at this point, I'm farming damage.
Yeah. And then I saw the Stalingrad, so immediately I was just like, okay, I have to focus on this.
And he's coming out broadside to you, so punish.
Yeah,
Absolutely
see,
punish.
So get this, I paid him 100 grand. There we go.
Oh.
Here's where I'm
10-year
surprised.
reload.
The fact you took so much punishment in a close range Bungo, it just makes me think the entire enemy team is full of paid actors. Like I'm a
Right?
Yeah.
Why do you need me to pause, Armios? Only issue with a tortoise like Vermont is the 10-year reload. So here's the thing. The reload on the Vermont is pretty glacial. However, there is a unique upgrade that replaces slot 5, so replaces concealment, which gives you 10% reload buff. It fixes so much on the thing. Yes, it's a replay bug. It's annoying, but you can thank Wargaming for not fixing it yet.
You can place your bets if it's gonna be fixed on Wednesday or not.
Yeah, I'm pressing X to doubt right now, really hard. This Conqueror. Why aren't you shooting him? Shoot her! Shoot her! What are you waiting for? Shoot her! No, not the Kremlin. Not the Kremlin. The Vermont.
Yeah.
Shoot her! No! Back to the
Why
Conqueror!
are you not pulling your trigger?
Pull the trigger!
Because I know I'm waiting. So I was waiting because I had a feeling that the Kremlin was gonna do a "Get Down, Mr. President" on the Conqueror. So I wanted to wait to see what was gonna happen. I was gonna pick either or.
Because
now I'm on SAS side. There is no reason. Now you can farm all the damage on the concrete. You don't need that kill on the Kremlin anymore.
So no, he said he was concerned about the Kremlin blocking the shots. Here's the deal with the Bungo especially. You've got the spotter plane up and all that kind of stuff. You are much more accurate with your shells. And look at that arc. The Kremlin's not going to block the Conqueror anyway at that range.
Yeah.
It's just funny, right?
Again,
because
like this is the second match, right? So this is like I'm still getting used to her.
Sure, but the funny thing is, if you think about it, like the whole comment I gave you at the beginning was, dude, slow down, take your time, plan your shots, and then here I'm like, hurry up!
Not absolutely make up his mind.
Slower, faster.
Go faster. Shoot him!
Now, I can understand if you were at 5,000 hit points, and obviously a sneeze from either of those 2 ships kills you, if you were that close to losing the battle. But come on, you're winning, who cares? So, like, just go for it. And the Conqueror especially, or Thunder, or whatever, I can't remember, but, he was, like, so slow. And with the plane up, it really highlights your ability in the Bungo to choose and select exactly where your shells are going to drop on that ship. So when you have these opportunities, especially if you've like clearly won the game, use those opportunities to really focus on aim and hone in your skills on that.
Okay.
More hurry, less speed. That's right. That's right. And yes, it is a bug in the port where you cannot ready up a ship because yeah. I don't know. You have to make sure you're right in the correct game mode as everybody else in your division. So, anyway, for a second battle, I mean, it's a good one. The damage, in my opinion, is a little bit low.
Yeah.
But look at that. You came in second place. Why? Because the game was so freaking fast. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes and 1 second. That's a lot of damage for 10 minutes. And look, you didn't shoot HE at all. Surprise. Yeah.
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 I was not gonna lie. I was going on that side. I was expecting to die at one point. I was just like,
I was expecting you to die too.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna survive this. This is. At that point, I was kind of thinking. At one point, I was thinking, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna try to be as much as a pain as possible. In the sense of getting myself in a crossfire position, so then like my retreating battleships and teammates basically could. I think that's why I pushed in, was because I wanted to go like, hey, look at me, instead of looking at my teammates, sort of thing.
Sure. Now, when you did that, though, you highlighted one of the strengths of the line, which is its great concealment. You don't have Concealment Expert, which takes you to 13.5 kilometer. With Concealment Expert, that gets you down to 12.14. So basically, Soviet radar range is what spots you, which gives you tremendous flexibility. So you definitely want to look into picking up concealment at some point if you can.
Oh, I did.
Especially if you're playing this in randoms. Oh, yeah. Okay, you did, right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I changed my commander around. Yeah, so, like the other matches that I played in this after, like perhaps a couple days afterwards, I did I did the swap and all that sort of stuff, and I was pumping out 180k damage in it, and getting into positions which I have a feel like where I had the sense of this is where it's supposed to be, like sort of thing. This is where it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be like the threat among other threats, sort of thing.
Right. Fair enough. Well, let's go ahead and pull up your replay render here, and chat or anybody in the Discord, if you guys have some ideas for a potential title for this, should it make its way to YouTube, lay it on me. What do you guys think?
PayPal question mark?
Yeah. Paid hours?
Bungo Bungo monkeying around. There you go.
Good Bungo.
How about Bingo Bango?
Yes.
Yes. Bingo Bango. There goes my Bungo.
No. Bingo. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Bango. Bingo is my Bungo.
You see, I was thinking the same.
I like it.
Shice, you and I were sharing a brain cell there.
I mean, when I see bungos in the game, oftentimes I just see cruisers getting deleted, you know? And they're usually on my team getting deleted, so, you know, oh well.
Yeah, he's just monkeying around.
Right? Especially because it was your second game, and, you know, you've got a build that you, let's say less than optimal build in a random.
Yeah.
Lots of things can be shared. Giggity. But yeah, also your team did a fantastic job on like every place else too.
Yeah. I mean the Libertad. So I recently got the Libertad. The Libertad. I'm just looking at the replay. He just charged through, not caring.
That's kind of what they do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that I noticed about it, because like I was interested in the Latin American line. I was just like, I want to see like what really gives it apart. I get to Los Andes and I do like the most stupidest push ever, and I somehow survive with like 10,000 hit points left. And I'm just like, you know that that meme or something where it's just like the guy's beaten to the living moon, like to the heavens.
They're already dead.
Yeah, and there's like, or no, not that one. It's like not that one. The one where the guy's severely bruised on the face, and he's just like, "I did it!" That's literally how I felt like in the Los Andes after that match. It was just like, what the hell?
When I see like Libertads and ranked and stuff, I just imagine somebody smashing their head on a keyboard and somehow winning, because that's essentially what's happening. You just throw your head down on the keyboard, let your AI like there was a guy in a Libertad, and it was something like his name was like something like I can't aim worth crap or something. Like, well, you're in the perfect ship. You've got AI gunners that can do it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, the tier 8 one is a pain, Joey. The tier 8 is a pain, absolute pain. All right, well, that'll do it for this replay, I suppose. So, Valkyrie, thank you very much for sending the replay in and supporting the channel,
No
man.
worries. Yeah, no worries.
All right.
That was
Well, chat.
that was like my first ever line that I grinded through since being back after what was it, 5.5 months of being away from
Oh,
ships.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, glad you're having a good time.